Alrighty then. Welcome. My name is Fear. This is Battle Vortex. Obviously, my entire intro was screwed up, but that's okay. Alright, so today we're going to talk about Crowfall. We're going to talk about the Dregs campaign, the new Dregs campaign that came out. And the winter has come for Gordon Walton. We're going to get into that. First thing I got to do is I got to welcome my lovely guests. Extreme, are you here today?
What's up?
The co-host of the show, Extreme, XC29. Free XC29, I think is your new name now.
It's hashtag free.
Hashtag free Extreme XC29. Okay, yeah. Some genius came up with that little gem.
It was not me, for the record. I did not come up with that.
Well, I am.
I'm not going to sit there and not use it.
Well, of course you got to use it. I think we're going to make T-shirts.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then we also have, I think we have our lovely guest today, Highlander. Highlander, you here?
I don't know about guest or lovely part. I guess I'm a guest.
I'd say lovely.
I'd say he's pretty lovely.
Lovely.
You know, we have to uplift and support our active Crowfall players and streamers. That's a thing. So we're doing that.
I agree with that part.
Okay. What was that, Extreme?
Nothing. I'm good. I'm in enough trouble as it is. I'm good.
You couldn't get a break last week, man. You were getting just pummeled by things left and right. With the community and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you were having a week.
I was having a, yeah. And you know what? That ain't going to stop me.
No, nothing can stop you. You're like a freight train coming through. Well, somebody's got to set this ship right. And if it isn't going to be Gordon, it's got to be us. So, I've got several topics today. Obviously, I'm going to save the Gordon one to the end, but because, no viewers yet. So,
Okay.
so we're going to talk about some things. The first thing I wanted to mention is, if you guys didn't know this yet, this is a very important tidbit of information. April 22nd is when the event, the Easter event's going to go live. So they moved the date. Now, all I saw was something about because of feedback from the community. Like, I don't know, maybe somebody celebrates Easter later. I don't know, some weird shit. So anyway.
Oh, yeah, I was hoping to take advantage of the 3-day weekend and get started on that, but I guess not.
I guess that's just not happening.
No.
All right, so my first topic today is maybe a little bit heavy, but we'll see. My first topic today is chasing a community. Is it worth it? Let me explain. So, Gordon Walton had mentioned in the Founders Update for March 2022, you can find that on the forum if you need to, that there were 110,000 people who had access to Crowfall. To be completely honest, 109,000 of those people that have access to the game feel that they were gypped. I mean, honestly, the game was in Kickstarter, and it was also there were backers and investors and all kinds of neat things at the beginning. And I'm pretty sure that most of the promises that people really cared about were not delivered upon. So I think so. So I think the statement itself, I felt like that when he said this 110 number, is that's the community that they're trying to resurrect, right? Now, I believe that some of those people in that community will come back, but there's a lot that had just blown it off completely, whether it was the bad press or whatever, or they played it and they didn't like it. For whatever reason, they left. So I just feel like at this point, when a game's this old as it is, a lot of times it takes a really long time for that information to filter down to the normies, right? To the normal players, the investors, that kind of thing. It takes a while. Plus, we're not even really getting any information as investors anymore. Obviously, we invested in Ace, and Ace is no longer in charge of our Crowfall. So Not really sure how that plays out. We haven't heard anything from either Ace or Monumental on this topic. So it's a topic that's definitely weighs on people's minds. And, so until we get some of these answers, I just don't think that they're just going to come out of the woodwork rushing back.
Yeah.
My friends play this game, and as long as they're having fun and I'm having fun, I'm more than willing to play it. But I mean, a lot of the reasons that I jumped into this game haven't come to fruition yet either. So I'm a little bit like, well, why am I still here? Why am I still here? And so, but like I said, if it wasn't for my couple of friends that I play with every day, it brings us together as a group of friends. That's the only thing that really holds me to the game is the fact that this game does that.
I would only play this game as a group.
Yeah, this is not.
Well, this game is definitely designed to be played as a group. Yes, I did try to play it single player. It was not fun. It was unfun.
It would be horrible.
I mean, the way the game's set up, it's almost impossible to play solo.
Yeah.
You're basically forced to play in a
You need
group.
a group
where you're...
support to play this game. You need a group. You have to have a group of guys, in my personal opinion.
You can't play it otherwise, effectively.
Now, as a speculation type guy, which I would say I am, based on what Gordon had said, and these changes that they brought to Dregs, which are things that I've seen on many streams that streamers want, like they wanted less zones. I mean, I know some of them just want a small room for you to be put in, and then they just get to beat on you mercilessly until you get good or die or something. But that's not going to happen. But I'm just saying, I've seen a lot of these changes going into this Dregs, and I think it's great because it's what some of the community needs. If you're a streamer, okay, your whole gig is to have action. If you're one of those kind of streamers, the mainstream, you know what I mean by the mainstream kind of streamer.
Well, even if you're not mainstream, you still need to have that action. Because I can tell you, when I'm getting my shit kicked in, or doing good in PvP, regardless, that's when I notice my viewer count spike.
Yeah, right.
When I go back to doing everything else, it goes back down. No one really cares about watching people mine rocks and chop.
Well, there is a market for it. It's just not as big, right? Because everybody thinks that. I mean, a lot of times gamers think that they have to watch these high-end streamers because that's the only way they're going to get good, right? So I don't buy into that. I don't really care. I don't watch streams for that. I mean, I'm guilty of, I'll watch Dr. Disrespect and watch him, play this game that I don't even care about, but I don't do it because he's a really good player. I do it because of the persona that he has, the 80s, the 80s hairdo, and he talks the smack and he does all the karate fight scenes and stuff, and he's a good entertainer, right?
There you go.
Did I say a bad word there? Oh shit, I'm gonna get censored again. Anyway,
okay. They'll just blame me.
Yeah, it is your fault. Everything's your fault.
You're a paying affiliate. I'll be.
Yeah, I'm a
They
pay.
can't touch you.
Yeah, I pay. Well, they could touch me, but the shitstorm they would get then, because then I'll start making videos again, and then they don't want. I don't even bother most people with my main channel because my main channel is for shorter videos. But if all I have time to do is make shorter videos and focus all my attention on that, yeah, that they don't want that. So anyway, especially if I'm mad at them. So there was a lot of things that these streamers asked for, right? And community members. I've seen community members. I do read a lot of the content. I look at I don't do it like all the time, but I go in and I try to get caught up on what people are asking about, what people are wanting, what people are, questioning and that kind of thing. And we're going to get into more about the community later. But, I watch these things and I think, well, a lot of these things that they're asking for are the same things these streamers are asking for. And a lot of those things that they're asking for, I've asked for, or you've asked for, or Highlanders asked for. And then and he gets what he demands. That's all I know. Whether that's coincidence or not, I don't know. In any event. Hey, Mr. Most Mad.
I think demand's a strong word.
Yeah, see, Mr. Most Mad's just confirming what I said. He understands the word content. Now, in a streamer context, content means action. But in game, when I see somebody that doesn't stream say that, I think they're like stupid. Right? I'm like, why are you saying that? So I get mad at the streamers for teaching the gamers to say dumb shit, right? Because content to me is like new monsters, new areas to explore, new things to do. That's the kind of content we as regular gamers want, not this other thing. Crowfall, I don't care what they do to Crowfall. Crowfall is never going to become an esport. Okay? It's just not going to be there. For one, the graphics. Come on. Just that alone. All the esport games are real pretty. So that's just one thing. But then just the fact that they're even pushing it on Twitch, I don't know how that came to be. Maybe it was just because of the huge siege battles or whatever. But, realistically, this game would have been better served on like YouTube because the audience is so much bigger. And it's got a more wider appeal than a Twitch. Twitch is basically designed for that kind of content. Is to Facebook would have been another good one, especially because they, like me, I was sent an email and I was invited here. I'm like Richard Dreyfuss in the what's that, the third kind? What was that called? Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I was invited here, right? So I got invited by Gordon Walton, who we'll be continuing to talk about today. I was invited here, and there was this promise of a utopia, the promised land, and I think he mentions that in his address, which we'll get to in a little bit. But so the promised land, and I'm not going to say that some of the promised land isn't there, but a lot of it's broken, right? So the promised land is broken. They haven't fixed it yet. We haven't heard anything from the new owners, and things are heating up, right? So people are getting more and more frustrated as the weeks go on. We're all starting to fight with each other, which is normal, except that we're getting that lines can be crossed, and that's not good. Whenever it gets that far, it's time. I believe that it's time for Monty to step in and just kind of give us an overview of what's happening and what he sees for the future and that kind of thing. Now, whether he's a hands-off kind of guy or whatever, he needs to get his hands in there for a minute and tell the community what the hell's going on, because he's in charge, right? So, as far as I'm concerned, that's my thought on that. Now, the inaction that the company had for doing these changes before, now that could have been because the company wasn't doing well financially. Could have been that they ran out of their capital, or they didn't believe that the players wanted these changes. That you think you do, but you don't. J. Allen Brack, famous quote on the internet. Yep. That might have been a thing. I don't know. These are speculations. Again, I know I have to reiterate that because otherwise somebody will misquote me and try to get me in trouble again, which didn't work, by the way. Okay, so it worked on you, though.
Yeah, it looked like a charm on me.
It worked on you. It did.
I'm choking on that.
I got that good plate armor on, homie.
You got that crafted gear.
I got the craft. Yeah, I got the crafted war tribe gear, man. My forge is bigger, so.
So is your wallet.
Yeah, my wallet is huge. Okay, so from what I've seen so far, I don't think that chasing the old player base is really going to work. I totally think that some of the streamers will come back because of whatever reason. I don't believe, especially with one streamer in particular that I know a lot about, who I've been friends with for over 20 years, and I'm going to say his name. His name is Marquis Dragon. he is very much into the business side of streaming. So he doesn't come back for no reason. He does not just, oh, I feel like I should be nice to Crowfall. There has to be something going on. And now I know one of the things that's going on, which we're going to talk about later, is with what's going on with Gordon Walton. But there's something happening. Okay, I know there's something happening. I just don't know what it is. Whether the company claims they wouldn't do any of these things because integrity, but the company's not owned by Ace anymore. So is there that same integrity? I don't know. Does anybody know? I don't know. Do you know, Extreme?
The only integrity thing I know of right now is one of the new people coming in worked on Fallout 76, and take that as you may.
Okay. So that's a thing.
We all know how that went.
Well, it came back is what they're trying. That's their point they're trying to make. And we'll talk more about her.
We'll get into that later.
I just don't think it's gonna. I don't think that it's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna turn the game around. So really, and what we've been pushing for this whole time is trying to get new players. Well, they're really not. As far as I'm concerned, the Crowfall team is really not grasping the whole how to get new players thing, because I don't think they're doing it. Do you think they're doing it? I mean, they've done some things, but it's just kind of like meh. You know what I mean?
I mean,
you and I have done the new player experience at least, between us 24 times. But
if that, I'm gonna have to sit there and do it again actually to see if there's any changes, because you keep saying I've missed something, so I want to go see if I missed it.
I could be wrong, but
I could be wrong as well. I'm sure I'm gonna go find out later.
I usually am.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah,
that's why
we all are.
We don't go to you for these things.
That hurts.
I don't think
it shouldn't.
Trying to get new players right now.
Truth always
Honestly,
hurts.
You got one job: smash. That's your job, buddy. That's all we
like
care
to
about.
smash.
I know. We love to let you smash. So I just feel like the influencers and all that, they've already moved on. Okay, Crowfall does not have any expandable stuff, no content, no new content, right? So there's nothing for people to come back to. If you're just gonna, if the whole premise is to just turn some knobs and have it different each time, that's great. But the siege, the keep siege and the castle siege thing has been played to death, okay, by the current community. Okay, we've played it. We've won it like a billion times. Nobody even wants to come challenge us anymore. It's just what's left now. Now what do? We just stand around, like Conan with our hand on our chin in our throne with our big bags of money all over the place, not doing a damn thing.
It's another story.
Yeah, it is. It's a whole nother story. Yeah. And that's fine, but we need new worlds to conquer. We need new ways to conquer them. We need capture the flags and all the different kinds of battlegrounds.
To craft shit.
We need or get rid of the crafting. We don't even care.
Those that have tension spans like a ferret.
Yeah.
We'll get into that one in a second a bit. But game modes. We need more game modes.
That's what the game was designed around, was game modes. Why they just decided this is the one game mode we're going to run with forever, I don't know. Maybe they just figured they were going to just sell it off and let the next company deal with it. I mean, I'm sure that they could have a really tiny player base play that same game mode forever, but
that's the only way it's going to work, though.
But if you can't even get them to challenge each other, okay, even in the dregs, from what I hear, and I do not have confirmation or proof of this, is pretty much the same group wins every time. Now they try different things. They match up this one with that one, and they get little coalitions and all this stuff. But from what I understand, there's one dominant guild, and I believe that it comes up almost in every extreme stream. Is X guild the predominant guild still? And if the answer is yes, which I don't think even Extreme knows for sure.
I don't.
But it is a predominant guild. And if it doesn't wield the power it did at one point, it still wields power in the background, right? So if, say, you were going to attack somebody in the community, you would use this predominant guild because they have a lot of back channels that some of us don't have access to.
Yeah, but
and it would probably work, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and as far as the siege thing, yeah, they would have to use a smaller player base for that because I was talking to people in my chat last night during my stream, and the main issue they had with the large sieges was it turned into a slideshow.
Right.
The
well,
servers
yeah.
aren't stable enough to support the large.
And I don't know. I know that they had made massive improvements on that, but right now I don't know if the servers. I don't believe that they don't have premium servers right now.
No.
Because otherwise we wouldn't see that huge glitch when at the top of the hour where everything freezes, and then like you'll be in the middle of combat or whatever, and all of a sudden you'll just be like. And everything stops, and then all of a sudden you hear, and you see all these 57 messages come up on your screen about what's going on in the zone.
Yeah. I'd love to be able to turn those off.
That would actually not be a bad thing.
Toast messages?
Is that what a toast message is?
Yeah, I'd love it.
They call it, you know why they call it a toast message? Because it turns your computer into a toaster and freezes it.
Toast.
Everybody
likes toast.
Yeah. No, but God, I'm gonna get Black Desert.
Cinnamon toast.
Cinnamon toast is good, but Black Desert, they give you the ability to turn those things off, so they're not running across your screen all the time. But you can still have them pop up in your event chat, so you can still look to see what's going on, but it's not spamming your screen at least.
Yeah,
and that'd probably cut down on that as well. But
so, Mister, I hope you don't mind I say your name on this, Mister, but. Mr. says, the same guild has won the last several dregs and has a strong chance to win this one too. And now I know what guild it is. I just haven't said the name because I don't want them to revolt and try to get me in trouble again because it cost me a week of my life. I ain't getting back to fight with them. But
at least this time they can't sit there and jerry-rig the scoreboard.
Just do things the rest of us aren't willing to do. Now, I know what those things are. Yeah, I know some other people that do that too. Like, they go the extra mile. Like, a lot of the players are real lazy. Like, I know certain people that if a fort gets damaged, they'll go fix the fort no matter what. And if this gets damaged or that gets damaged, they'll go fix it. And then I see most players, most normies, normal players, even the high-end ones, they don't want to be bothered with all that. All that running around, going to get mats and all that stuff. Most people don't want to do that stuff. That stuff is boring. It's not fun. It's housekeeping. This game, keep in mind, I'm a very big fan of this game, so if anybody's curious. But I still get pissed because I'm a fan of it.
Yeah.
This game does not care about your time at all. Your time is not valuable to them. They give you housekeeping is like their favorite thing. Somebody's favorite thing to do is housekeeping because that's all you're doing constantly. You're cleaning out your packs, you're rearranging things. You got to move stuff around because the storage is limited. Is there even any games anymore that really limit the storage like that anymore?
I mean, your typical Eastern MMO ones, but they also give you a plethora of ways to increase your storage, whether it be buying through the shop or earning in game.
Not a plethora. Holy shit.
And Mr. says everybody wants to do the sexy stuff, fighting, building the keeps, and harvesting. So fighting is the sexy stuff to him, right?
Yeah.
Building the keeps and harvesting for 84 hours a week is blah. Well, yes, and I agree with you, and Highlander agrees with you, as you can see by the throw up all over his microphone. Yeah, oh man, I just lost connection. Nice. That's a non-persistent error, by the way, guys. Just so you know.
That's a new one.
Non-persistent.
Oh, speaking of non-persistent, Highlander, tell everybody what happened to you last night.
Hey, I got disconnected with a 95% loading screen.
I've heard that from several people.
To be honest, though, that is the very first time that has happened to me.
You are
personally.
Lucky then.
Yeah, exactly.
You are one of the lucky ones.
The fact that it is a common problem with me, or not a common problem with me, is true.
I'm going to have to restart my game, so I'm just going to switch the screen, but we'll continue to chit-chat, okay? All right, so...
We're good at chit-chat. That's what we do.
We like to chit-chat. We are chit-chatters. There have been zone crashes. Yeah, and a lot of people are complaining about crashing when they go through the zones, and I think that maybe, I think that may be what Mister says. There have been when you go through a gate, when you come out the other side of the gate, the game's crashing on them, and then they have
and we
to
know of a said
restart
person that has happened to multiple times a day, every day.
Oh man, I just hit Unity instead of Crowfall. All right, it's gonna be a long day, folks. All right, yeah, we don't want Unity. We want. Oh, okay, we don't want that. Close that. All right, sorry, I gotta reload my game. So anyway, I think that. Yeah. So did you have? I'll let you take over a topic for a second, Extreme. What do you got on your plate?
I was just talking about the non-persistent persistent crash.
Ah.
That's what I was talking about. As Tyler mentioned, for me personally, it's I feel like it has something to do with the memory leak.
Yes.
But yeah, my screen will sit there and just start jump to the loading terrain. It'll stay at 95%.
Yep.
But the game is still technically active because players can still interact with my character in game, like send a trade request and whatnot. And eventually, an AFK timer will actually pop up.
I go to the task manager and have to shut it off and start all over.
Yeah, you have to
will
force.
not go any further than that.
Yeah, you have to force the. If you're lucky, it may, but 9 times out of 10, it just won't. So
No, and that is a very similar thing that Caluraith used to get before he had put an extra bunch of memory in his computer. Got it up to 16 gig.
hold on.
Yes.
Hold on a second. I'll tell you exactly how much I got in mine right now.
But I think it's even happening to the 16 gigs or more now.
I have 32.
I have 32 gigabytes of installed
Yes,
RAM.
as do I.
Yeah, so
I think
it's expanded.
yeah, my guess is the issue is if you go look at the was it options, was it graphics, graphics, and then you have your full screen mode. You have full screen windowed and windowed. Neither one of those are actually windowed modes. They're all just full screen.
Yeah.
They're not true window modes. The problem is they got it mislabeled, and then if I'm live streaming or something, or I need to talk to someone in Discord, I have to alt tab out, and if you do that too many times, that's going to screw with the game.
Yeah.
And I believe that's where the memory leak is coming from. So they need to add in a true window mode, and then actually label them properly.
Well, it'd be nice if they had a true full screen mode too.
Yeah. Well, I believe it is like I don't know if this is not.
Well, it says full screen windowed.
Mine's full screen all the time. I can't go from monitor to monitor unless I tab out.
So right now I have mine set to full screen windowed as well. Mm-hmm. But if it was full screen windowed, I should be able to move my mouse.
Right, you should be able to get your mouse out. Yeah, you should be able to get your mouse.
But I can't do that. I have to alt tab out, so it's not windowed. Yeah. It's just full screen. Is my point. They have it mislabeled.
Yeah, so there's something going on. We just don't know exactly what it is. And, we just get... The problem is, too, is that the way that you have to copy all these logs and do all this stuff each time, that's very, very annoying. We got stuff to do. Like I said, our time is important. This game isn't in testing anymore. It's released. It's live service. It needs to be treated as such. It needs to be polished. It needs to be, easy to report things. I mean, I do not know of any other game where I have to literally break out and go find stuff in a directory somewhere in some obscure area and then copy files and send them to the game company. That just doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, we should not be our own IT technicians.
No, and
your
then
standard user's never going to do that either.
No, even your tech users don't want to do it.
Do that. Yeah, they're not even going to know how to do that.
I'm a freaking IT tech and I don't want to do it. So I know if I don't want to do it, nobody wants to do that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I was like, yeah, I used to be an IT tech and I left that career for a reason. Yeah. I don't want to be doing that.
Well, and I like doing it, but I don't like doing that. So kind of often, yeah. So basically we've got confirmation from a Dregs aficionado that says these crashes are happening often. Well, they're happening in the shadows as well. And yeah, we don't like it. So, we were talking about this, but Crowfall, the is a campaign based MMO. The Throne War part of it is kind of played out in my opinion. I don't know about the Dregs guys if they feel that. I mean, aren't we kind of tired in the Dregs too of doing the same style campaign over and over and over? I mean, turning the knobs is one thing, but I think we actually need different objectives, not just the landscape is terrible. I mean, the big crevices and all that
Lord.
all over the place, making it super hard to travel everywhere, is just horrible. There's so much in the game that makes it unfun that it's like when you do get to the fun part, you still don't feel like you accomplished much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, no one's going into a Hellcat-infested trench to sit there and guide a pig.
The travel time is ridiculous as it is, which I don't have as much problem with the travel time, but I do have a problem with the travel time if I got to go around a crevice, dodge kitty cats, get attacked by bog bears, the satyrs pull me off my horse, try to beat me up. You know, I mean, there's just a point where it's just too much. You know, it's just like, dude, I just want to go kill this moon dude, you know, or I want to go kill this earth dude. You know, that's all I want in my life. You know, it's like,
you know, someone's taking my outpost. I want to go fight them.
Yes, I have to protect my outpost, but I can't get to it for 20 minutes. Yeah.
Wait, there's a herd of bog bears.
Yeah. Oh, wait, there's more.
There's kitty cats everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, no, there's mining. There's a mountain here. Why is there a mountain here? Yeah, it's just, there's so many obstacles to overcome at times. And then at least I got rid of the bird wobbling. God, I love that.
Boy, that's true.
Man, that wobbly bird used to drove me. Yeah, there's no doubt. They're working on stuff, and it's coming out faster.
Mm-hmm.
The world is too empty. Well, the world being too empty is not anything that they're not gonna. I mean, you can only shrink it so far.
That's true.
Right.
I mean, if you shrink it too far, the crafters are going to be very unhappy because they're going to be up front and center with the fighters, and they're not going to like that. Now, some of them will, because they have made some murdering crafters out there. I can attest to that. I mean, we used to just call him Dino, the nice guy. Now we call him. What do we call him? Genghis Dino, because he's just like he was at least last campaign. He was number 1 on the leaderboard for kills. He got the bloodlust, and he just was like, kill them all. It's like, oh my God.
Guess what? He didn't get any more reward for that.
No, he did not. And I believe I got reward stuff.
Top 3. Or if you wanted me in the top of any said area that the game has chosen, because I did see that there's a top level for maximum most respawns. Okay.
Yeah.
Which to me that would be most deaths, but I guess the game could kill you. It still counts as a death. Why wouldn't you get a reward for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand why they don't have competition within your own faction. Like, you know, I used to think that that's what it was. If you got the top 3 slots, that you got extra rewards.
Full of competitive people.
Yeah, and
I want to be number 1.
We prefer to compete with each other than these other, especially if it's a super huge guild. We know we're not going to beat them.
Me and Fear compete for maximum deaths.
Yes, I do. I actually won that
we
once.
Compete for maximum assist.
Yes, we are pretty good on the assists this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, there's certain, you know, all these different stats they give us, you don't get anything for them. You get recognition at the end, like they say, hey, blah, 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 got the most number of deaths, blah, blah, blah. That's it. And nobody even reads that stuff, right? They just cursor through it. They just go to the rewards. Give me my stuff. Give me my stuff. You know.
I remember when you first told me, he's like, yeah, top 3 get more rewards. I busted my ass that campaign to be in the top 3 and got fuck all for it.
Yeah, and then I realized they changed all that. They don't do that anymore for whatever reason.
Now I just don't care. I'm just doing whatever.
Yeah, now I just do whatever I want because there's no incentives. There's no incentives for a defense. Why do I need to go defend the keep? There's no reward for it. I don't get any points for taking down bane trees or killing, you know, people, and there's no reward at the end of the day. So why am I doing it?
Payoff for the hours and hours of seat time we sit here and play this game. There's no payoff.
The friendship is your reward.
That's it.
And you're a billionaire. That's correct. That's correct. So, because I've heard this several times, Monty, when he first took over the company, and Blixtev in his latest address, they're talking about experimentation. And experimentation's great, except that this is a live service. And I'm just not sure. I'm not sure how the Dregs guys feel about this. But to rip the Dregs away from them that they know and love or hate, and then change it completely like they did, I don't know that was the best course of action. I think that Dregs shouldn't be associated with a rule set. Dregs should be a world or a play or a set of rules, a set of objectives, and that should be Dregs all the time. I mean,
we need to get a regular Dregs player in here too. We need to get someone.
Well, we do have one. I'm just waiting for him to make any responses he may give us. So we do have one in the chat. So, but I think that that's terrible that they did it that way. Although I'm not sure that they're, I'm not sure if they're thinking on that. Like, oh, let's just upheave the whole thing. Now, the biggest guild, obviously, seems to be unfazed as they're winning this campaign as well. So what's going on? I mean, where was this conversation? Why wasn't I invited? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I just don't know how this happened.
My current hearing on the Dregs that's there, it's already over. The current Dregs is already, everything's in a stalemate because all the biggest people have a fort and whatever. I don't know anything about the Dregs, so I can't really talk about it. I have a character in there, but I haven't set foot through the gate yet.
It's been met positively despite implementation being half baked.
Yeah, if they're gonna do 2 weeks, they should have started you at level 30. If they're gonna make you level up,
that whole beginning thing, I've done it now, and it's a waste of time. I don't understand why they did that. But
I mean, it doesn't take long, but at the same time, it takes long enough to be in where I don't want.
Yeah. I mean, I know there were concerns about splitting the player base and blah, 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 but you can't force everybody to play Dregs. They're not going to want to. I can already tell you from my own guild's experience, they don't want to. Not all, and we're only in the Dregs just to like dip our toe in it. We don't really want to stay in there. We can't beat most of those guys anyway. I don't even know if we could beat them with the gear. They need to get rid of the gear stuff. They need to make it if Dregs is to be associated with anything, it could be full loot and even playing field. None of this bullshit with gear and all that. Back in the day when we used to play UO, see, Extreme always references Black Desert. I always reference UO. But when we used to play in UO, you didn't take your crafted weapons outside because you know what? You were going to lose it. So we just had them in the bank most of the time, and we would take them out only in very rare occasions where we were certain we weren't going to get killed. But that was pretty rare, I mean, that is more of a level playing field to me. That's what I think Dregs should be, is more of a level playing field and not all this bullshit with crafting. The crafting is OP as all get out. I don't care what anybody says. Those rings and all that crap, when people are wearing all that shit, we can't even dent their armor. We can't even scratch it.
No. I mean, that's why I like the concept of his current Dregs. Never mind the fact you have to level up. I'm not really a fan of that or the short duration, but you go with no gear. Gathering and crafting is super fast and super easy. It's not complicated. You want to make a sword? Fine. Get some ore. Get some hide, go get a mold from the vendor, slap together, boom, you got a sword. It's not, 7 steps to make one sword. It's just one step.
Yeah, I don't even like that. I'd rather just grab it off the rack.
A real game. Me too. And I'm with you. You already know how I feel about the crafting part. But I think if the current Dregs crafting system was in the real game full time, you'd have a ton of people crafting stuff. You'd have a ton more people in there getting.
If they're making an MMO, I can understand the crafting. If they're not making an MMO, if they're trying to make some kind of esport, then the crafting makes no sense.
No.
If they're making an MMO, though, they need to put in an MMO part. Where's the world? There needs to be a world. And I don't care if it changes every once in a while, but it needs to be a world. And if we're living in God's reach, Sky Point, there is no hunger. There should be no hunger there. because otherwise all the gods would be dead. Now, I don't know how they got a hold of Gaia and killed her. I don't know. Maybe she's just sticking her nose where it doesn't belong. I don't know. But something happened. And then the Allfather, where the hell did he go? We don't know. But in any event, yeah, there should be just a world, an MMO world, where you can actually, all this crafted gear and stuff, you have to import it to use it. You can't go out in the world and use it. How are they supposed to do expansions? How are they going to have Are they never going to have expansions? Is this random world generator? Is that it? That's their whole spiel? That's their whole ball of wax? What's the deal? Sorry, I know you were going to say something extreme.
I think it was Highlander's going to say something.
Oh, okay.
No, not me.
Oh, well, I'm good then.
I've only got one thing for this week. Nothing major.
Well, let's talk about your one thing. What is it?
I would like to be able to turn my toggleable devices on or off on my horse, because now with the new Dragoon, you attract every wild beast and animal trying to get from point A to point B.
You mean like Dino does normally?
Of the battle present.
I was far away, but they aggroed me anyway. We're like, cool story, Dino.
But it's a true statement with Dragoon.
Well, with Dragoon, yes, I believe you.
Yeah, it really is.
I know the radius isn't that huge on it, but as tight and as many bog bears and places you have to run, you get within 15 meters, and you're attracting that thing in anything.
Yeah.
Which just slows you down, because then you get pulled off your horse, you have to kill everything in the way, and then you get back on your horse, and you're trying to get somewhere to kill somebody or help your buddies who need help.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Dragoon, don't get me wrong, but I would like to be able to turn any of my toggleable stuff off, the stuff that runs in the background passive once you turn it on and off, to be able to turn that stuff on and off from the horse.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I have.
Okay. That's it. And I agree. I think you should be able to. That, especially that one, because, there's a lot of those kind of.
And I want to be able to put my soulbound items in a personal chest.
So
I want to be able to put my soulbound stuff in a personal chest. I don't have to.
That would be amazing. I wish somebody would mention that to them.
I had two things. I'm sorry.
No, the replay. What do they call that? When you toggle something on and it replays over and over automatically.
Yes.
Those are the spells or the powers you're talking about, right? So, and Dragoon happens to be one of them. Yeah, all that stuff.
Your Guardian Rhythms. Which doesn't attract anything. It's not that big a deal if you're running it nonstop. But
I agree though, because I don't know if other players can actually see the Guardian Rhythms, but if you can see it, it's actually a beacon as to where you're at.
Yes, it is.
It would be nice if we could flip it off.
Of course, every time we go through a gate, it has to be turned on again anyway. Any of those things that run once we turn them on, those toggleable artifacts have to be turned on every time we go through a gate. So you have to get in the habit of doing that as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. Nice. A lot of things reset when you go through gates, and that's something that's an issue, but it's not as bad of an issue as not being able to toggle that off on the horse. But I understand. Yeah, it is kind of a pain, because you kind of have to check yourself each time you get out, and you don't always have time to do a full inspection and make sure everything's in line, and okay, we got this and that and this and that. Like bandages, for example, should just be in its own slot all the time. You shouldn't have to put it in a slot. It should just go into one. And if you have a bandage anywhere in your pack, you should be able to use it.
Yes.
That would be a thing that I would be totally okay with.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Because the first time you get in a fight,
we're talking about a slot marked for bandages,
and you got a chance to live, but your frickin' bandage ain't in the slot, you're not going to be a happy crow. You're going to be pissed.
Or it goes in Alt 2 or Alt 3 by mistake.
Yeah, some other slot.
A macro key set for that.
I think Black Desert Online has a slot like that where all potions go into slot 1, no matter what.
Yes, it's a potion. That's where it goes.
Yep, and it's always there. Hey, I referenced your game, Extreme, so we're getting somewhere. If I can get you to talk about Ultima Online, we'll come full circle.
I've never played Ultima Online, though.
Son of a! How can I even speak to you? You're pleb. I'm just kidding.
You live in a door. That's how you speak to me. I'm a pleb. You live in a door.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's acceptable. So, yeah. Well, okay, so that's it. Yes, we would love to be able to do something with that. No, the drops that are out right now that Extreme can't get are they're the chests of the One Eye, but they're a guild version.
Yes.
They're not a personal version, so you gotta. And I've noticed that the number of chests on my EK have gone up since people have been getting those. So eventually, I'll start bitching about it, but. Once we hit 100 again, I'll be mad. But yeah. So, but the guild version, obviously, we need to be careful. If you put down a guild chest, that means any of your guild can get into it. Any of your guild, not nobles, not vassals, anybody in your guild. So, if you trust every single person in your guild, put it up. If you don't, put that sucker in another chest because you can.
Hey, that's the chest I don't want to put my soulbound items in.
Right. Yes, that's correct. That's how that should work.
Okay, so I don't guess it would matter because I couldn't use my soulbound items anyway, but still.
Yes, and I'm absolutely positive they can make this happen. I don't know why they're not. I remember I did want to make a fellow streamer, Dilbo Dabkins, came to try the new dregs. He didn't seem super impressed, but he did say one thing. The community keeps trying to still defend the Crowfall team like they're still with Ace, right? And they're like, yeah, but they don't have the tech for that. And Dilbo said flat out, he goes, you don't have the tech, build the tech. And I was like, God, that guy's a genius. You know what I'm saying? Build the freaking tech. Why aren't we building tech? Well, that's what we want. We want you to build new tech. We need an expansion. We need new stuff.
I mean,
we need new stuff.
That's the solution for just about every problem mankind's ever faced. Build it.
Build the tech. Now, they're going back into full production, so they should be able to build the tech. Build it, and we will come. If you build a good game, people will come to it, even if they're from a long time ago. They like to come see new stuff. A lot of comments I see on some streams now, too, is it still looks exactly the same.
I don't know. We'll see. Somebody in your chat.
Or it's $20 says they don't. Well, I mean, okay.
Somebody says they don't what?
They won't build the
$20
tech.
says they don't. Bets they don't do anything, but don't build the tech. I'm guessing that's.
I think I'm gonna say that. Well, I'm gonna say more in a little bit, but yeah, I'm gonna say they're running out of options. Okay, so ready for the next topic?
Sure.
It's only
Fire away.
All right. The next topic: the community is afraid to speak. What's going on?
Gee, I wonder why.
Well, let me see what I said about it. I've noticed in my own circle, and attempting to have conversations with other circles within the Crowfall sphere, that the community simply is afraid to speak out. They don't want to say anything. It's also no secret that those that do speak out, especially if it's against the what do they call that? The approved narrative, are shamed to the point to where they just don't speak out anymore, or they quit the game, or whatever. They just don't want to be a part of the community anymore because the community is brutal. And now they're less brutal with me, but I think that's only because I'm an affiliate. If it wasn't for the fact that I was an affiliate, I bet you I would get brutalized way more than I do, because there's this rule. I don't know. I couldn't find any written version of this rule that you're not allowed to, badmouth the influencers. I don't care.
You have your own opinion.
Yeah, you're not allowed to. You're not. Or now, okay. Now that brings up a question, Dory. Now Dory's here. Hello, Dory. He's an old schooler. Yes, I know you do, Dory. I've watched many of your streams, even ones where you named them incorrectly so that nobody knew you were talking about Crowfall. I watched those too. Yeah, so that's the thing, is that's what's going on. I don't know about getting banned. Have you noticed or witnessed anyone getting banned for speaking out? I mean, I understand if you're speaking out and you're personally attacking someone, I can understand that one. But, I mean, if you're just speaking against the game itself. Now, if you're speaking against the people, like, I've heard in several different little corners, if you read the little chats in the Twitch, that people are calling for jobs and stuff like that. Now, I won't do that, but because
Says he got banned on Discord.
yes, because they do. Well, they do have a lot of. They shouldn't have excuses anymore. They were bought out. And they have new funding and even Gordon said something about new ideas and new perspectives and a fresh whatever. And then I still hear the same talking points over and over and over. I'm like, why are you guys talking like that? Somebody asked me, well, they tell me everything you suggest takes away from the whatever development time that they want. And I'm like, well, my question to you is, what do you care about their development time? Why is that important to you? Their development time is to make the game better so that more people play it. I don't understand how, just because they're not working on Dregs every 2 seconds of every day, that's somehow impacting negatively on the game. It's not. They need more than Dregs. They need more than the Shadow. They need more than Skypoint. They need new places. They need new places to go. They need new monsters to kill. They need new people to kill. And we're not getting any of that in any significant numbers, right? Now, I have a problem with that, and I'm sorry. And I don't agree with everything, like Dory, no offense, but I don't agree with everything he says. I think he's crazy. But I do agree with some of it. I'm like that with everybody, though, right? I don't agree with everybody. And, so MMM, good on you. Well, you're an influencer, so you're probably protected.
Yeah.
In a sense, yeah, or you spend a lot of money like I do. So that's the only reason I don't get thrown out is because I spend a shit ton of money.
I'm betting that's the reason. I'm betting that's the main reason right there.
Well, that and I'm pretty pally with Gordon, but other than that, he's leaving, so my protection window is coming to a close. So I don't know if people have been banned or what. There's definitely a fear in the air, okay? Now, I don't mean fear like me fear. I'm talking about there are people, they're afraid to talk out. They're afraid to speak out. And look, you guys can come here. You can speak anything you want. I don't care. I will never tell on you. I will never file false reports to support team like certain guilds do. I will not do any of that stuff. You guys can speak your minds and tell me, and I will repeat some of them in here if they're appropriate to be repeated. There is a line. I got to kind of keep it I try to keep the line a little bit higher than some people. I'm not a total trash talker, but I will talk some trash if I have to. I want the game to flourish too. I want the game to be better. I don't expect it. I don't expect them to control every horizontal and vertical thing in the game. That's stuff that I won't agree with. I know Dory's got a different opinion on some of that than I do. But I'm sure that well, that's true. Mr. Most Mad said he's more handsome than Dory. That's probably true. But I'm not here to judge how you look. You're all beautiful to me, okay? So, we all want the game to do better. We want to give them our opinions, and we want to be able to do that without worry that they're going to falsely report something or that the community is going to go, clutching their pearls or whatever the frick you call it. We don't want none of that. We want to talk about the game in a serious manner, and we want our voices heard too. So that's why we're here. Okay, that's why we do these podcasts.
19 of them so far.
Because we may not get heard today, but we will get heard someday. And especially if I got to keep pounding on the community, if I got to start talking about community members just to get them to false report me so that the devs over at Crowfall will listen to the show, I would do that. But I already know that there are certain members of the dev team that will not embrace the show. So I don't even care if they they should hire an intern and then have the intern listen to the show and take notes. That's what a lot of game companies have done for my show, because sometimes they run a couple hours usually. Well, I used to only do an hour, but with this game, since I like it so much more, I do at least 2 hours. Go I'm
what
sorry.
I think is when we stop talking about Crowfall,
That's when it's going to die.
that's when we've already found something else to go and play as a group. Because we leave games and go play as a group. Well,
All the
really,
time.
We usually go as a group, not a single guy.
Well, we usually take a few years before we do that, but this game isn't even a year old yet. It's coming up on its 1 year anniversary.
Yes. You strong-armed me into coming in finally.
Yeah. This is literally the first game that I've had to like go to this extreme to get my friends to play with.
Yeah, I got strong-armed.
I strong-armed the whole guild.
Getting property. I said, well, I'm gonna go give it a try. He's trying hard to get me in here. He really wants this game to succeed. He's part of the group. I gotta go try it. And now I'm hooked.
Yeah.
I've been here for months now.
Because what I bring to the table is loyalists. They are loyal to this game.
Absolutely.
I don't care. I am not flavor of the week streamer. I play serious games that I really love, and then I try to get my friends to play them too because they're cool. And Dory, thank you for the vote for class president. I appreciate that. I'll take that nomination. If I can get a second, I may actually apply at Monumental for that. I don't know if they'd be ready for me in a Monumental meeting because I would just be like, now I also heard too, Monty was saying that he was not happy with the way the game was created in the first place. And I totally agree with what he's saying. You know, the whole backers and all that. It did make things difficult to create this game because there's way too many chiefs and no Indians, right? That's an old saying. Okay, I'm an old dude. That there's way too many chiefs and chefs in the kitchen.
Not enough Indians.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they I got a second. Yes, thank you, Highlander, for the second. All right, so we, want to make it better, and I know that the way that the game came about and the amount of time they spent, they burned a lot of money. They made a lot of money on their Kickstarter for this game. They burned a lot of it. Now, if you look at the game today, you're like, where'd the money go? Because really, once you learn all the complicated systems in the game, there's not much left to do. I mean, basically all I do now is I make money, and then I buy things for my character. This is not my main. This is my Dregs. This is my Wakandan Dregs Hindi here. We want the game to be better as well. And we're not mainstream. We never will be. I've been doing this shit since 1999, and I know what's up. I know when the community's trying to finagle my bunghole, okay? Surprise butt sex doesn't surprise me anymore. I'm always expecting it. So, I think that the old rules and policies for pretty much everything need to be reworked. Okay, first of all, Monumental's not Ace. They don't have to comply with anything that Ace came into be. I think they need to rework that whole system. They need to let us speak our minds. Let us say what we're going to say. And who cares about the influencers if they're inactive? To me, I look at it as that Janet Jackson song, "What have you done for me lately?" Okay? That's what have they done for us lately? Nothing. You got one guy, well, there's a couple, but really there's one guy that streams more than anyone else, and he can't even get drops. That's a problem. I have a problem with that.
You can't get drops is the reason why I'm not streaming it.
Yeah. And I think
not happy about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I really don't even care for that guy that much.
I understand.
I'll say you have less of a filter than I do.
I understand. You got to draw lines, right? But they don't have to be so broad. They don't have to be that broad. There are certain people that you definitely need to ban. There's racist things and stuff like that. Yeah, there's a line there. I'll totally go for that line. But when it comes to talking about the game, we're not being mean to anyone. If you're speculating about something and you're wrong, that doesn't mean that you don't love the game, okay? That just means that you speculated about something because it happened to happen at a certain time as something else, okay? Amazing how these coincidences happen. And then when somebody does complain and you get into it with them about it, you find out you were right anyway. So that's all I got to say about that. All right, so
Hey, Perian, welcome.
who? Oh, Perian, hey, buddy.
Perian's in chat.
Yeah. And I don't care what guild you're with or what you've done in the past and all that. That's fine. But I don't follow those politics. So I don't know. Like, people are always saying, "Oh, they're from this guild, that guild." I'm like, I don't care if they don't have a moon tag over their head. They're dead. I don't care. You know what I mean? That's all I care about is moon, earth, sun. That's the only three things I care about. And even if I do go to the dregs, I don't care about who that guild is. I just know that they exist and they're red and I have to kill them. That's all that I care about.
Or attempt to kill them.
Or attempt to kill them. Yes, and mostly it's attempting, but it does happen.
Yeah.
Once in a while, I get a bone.
The topic is Crowfall. All Crowfall, all the time.
All Crowfall, all the time. But this particular topic is the community is scared, and we want to know why. Why is the community so afraid? We want to be able to speak out.
Yeah, they're going to say specifically afraid to speak out.
Yeah, they're afraid to speak out. And, yeah, so we're trying to just kind of wrap our heads around it. We speculate on things. So, like the company may say, well, you can just ask us, and then I'll ask them, and they'll say, well, I can't answer that. It's like, okay. So does that mean I can't talk about it until you can answer that? I don't know, but that's not the way this works. If you don't tell me the answer, I make up an answer. And a lot of times I'm right. Not always, but a lot of times I'm right. Or at least close to right. I might have a little bit off on the, the finer details, but I'm usually pretty right. And I know for a fact Extreme was right about some things he said. So I'm very good. I only stand with one guild, okay, Dark Vortex. Okay, anything that they do, I am directly involved with that, and I support them. Even if I don't like what they said, I support their right to say it. Okay?
As we support the right for anybody to say what they want.
Right. I will fight for them just because it may have been crass. It may not have been, the perfect wording. But you know what? He's got the right to say that. And it didn't hurt nobody. And it wasn't hurting nobody. There was no mass attack on anyone. There was no, death threats in the emails. All that happened was support got more tickets than they wanted to have. And my fix for that is hire more support. Because the more we talk about this game, the more support tickets you're going to get, because somebody's not going to like something one of us says. In the chat, on the Discord, wherever, they're not going to like it, and they're going to try to silence us. And we're not going to be silenced. I don't give a crap. If I even lose my affiliate status, I will still talk about this game. Of course, I will be much meaner.
Oh, I was getting ready to say. Oh, don't you better not do that. You're opening up a can of whoop ass there.
I will definitely be much more vicious.
That will be an uncured candy cucumber.
Dory, you don't even know. I just did a week of support PvP, and boy, was that fun. Woo! Here's what support will do. They'll tell you did X number of things or whatever, and then when you disprove one, they just move the bar somewhere else. Well, yeah, but this happened. And then you go, no, that didn't happen either. Oh, but this happened. They keep moving the goalposts. So you got to keep going at it with them until you get to the very end, and then they just shut down the conversation. And it's like, okay. So,
Chickapado says they are upping their employee count considerably, by the way.
Yes.
Hiring way recently. Yep.
I know that. And I'm very excited for that. Because like I said, I'm just mad at them this week, but I do appreciate what they're doing. And I even tell them that, even when I'm in fights with them in the support tickets, I still thank them for doing stuff. I'm like, hey, by the way, great number that last patch. That was the bomb, dudes. Keep it going. I try to encourage them even when I'm mad at them. So, where are we at? Okay. Well, we kind of sort of covered this, but I wanted to just briefly touch on the next topic, which is bugs. Crashing is happening, and from what I hear, it's mostly when people are going through the rune gates. I don't personally suffer from this, okay? But I've heard it enough times. I've been in enough sieges in the last 2 weeks to know this stuff is happening. It's happening on a larger scale and it's happening on people with really nice rigs. So this is definitely a thing that's happening. I don't know what they're doing about it, if they're working on it. I don't follow the support ticket area real closely. I throw things at them when I find them, but I don't like doing support. I'd rather just play the game like a normal human. But yeah.
Yeah, devs are the frontline staff.
They need to hire more staff. Did we just jinx each other?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Well, we don't have any silent time here because we got to have content at all times. Content.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
You're allowed. You're allowed. Content's allowed in here.
I'm a streamer. I can say it. Okay.
Almost,
just not the normal players. Please don't teach them dumbass words to say in the game.
All
right. So the game is designed, definitely, we talked about this earlier, but again, the game is designed to have multiple versions of campaigns running at the same time. I don't care if they have 27 campaigns and only one person goes into each one. They should be allowed to do that. If they need more people, then maybe they should make the game a little bit more friendly to the new players so they don't come in. I still get confused. I went in that new Dregs, and I still look at it and go, what the hell am I supposed to do here? I don't even know. And I'm not a new player. I'm like, what? All these flags. What are all these flags? Can I take these outposts? What is, what's going to happen? It's like one of those things where you go out there and you take an outpost just to see how many people come and smash your face in. But it's like, okay. I mean, it's nice that they're test. Yeah, you like the cowlick? I love the cowlick.
Oh man, it's rough looking at that today.
I'm telling you. Hey man, I just want to. This is how hard I'm working for you guys. My hair is a mess.
Hard.
I am in a torn ass t-shirt in my living room with kitty cat running around. I don't know where she's at, but she's around here somewhere. I hear her shuffling around here and there. That's right. This is what you look like when you work too much on Crowfall or you play it too much. So
yeah,
I'm all in.
Much either, Dory. Yeah, I'm the same way.
So we want to know why the community can't speak. We want to know why there's so much gatekeeping. And in the bugs area, we want to know what the hell's going on. Are they fixing this stuff? When do we get this fixed? Because it's ridiculous. Well, definitely, it's got the players talking. I mean, yeah, we're talking, but we're all talking in our little safe spaces because we can't say it out loud because God knows somebody will get in trouble. We don't want that kind of environment. We want to feel that it's an open community and all ideas are welcome. And so these bugs, I don't understand what's going on. Yeah, I don't get it. And there's been bugs that I've reported at least, a dozen times or more that every time I send in those log files, they just tell me, well, it doesn't seem to be persistent. Yet I've got a whole directory full of screenshots of them, that unpersistent bug. And so now we made a joke out of it because somebody told me it wasn't persistent. So we say, oh, there goes that unpersistent bug again. Oh,
new word.
A little rat came over here and looked at me. I'm hiding the names of the innocent.
They probably thought you were a vendor.
I am a vendor. What do you want to buy? I got some Band-Aids. You want them? I don't. Yeah, and that being immune in the forts doesn't bother me because I don't like the fact in fort sieges, especially that that people could get into the forts before they took down the walls and then attack the wards. Like, all I wanted them to do was make the wards invulnerable until the walls were down. That's all I wanted them to do.
They're not even breaking down the walls.
No, now there's a way that the assassins can get in the walls too.
Several characters.
And the leaping and all this other shit. I don't know what's going on, man. Yeah, I don't like it. I think that it's a system. It's supposed to be take down the wall, take down the ward, take down the tree. Not in any other order. Right? So you should at least have to build a level 1 trebuchet or a catapult or both or whatever you can build to get in my walls.
We can make a ladder and they can defend it as we're climbing up a ladder to get it to a
Well, they'll make the ladder go whoosh, and they'll just fly up. Well, no, they would just come up too fast. You got to get them. You got to have a ladder that goes really slow, like a normal, so that you can push the ladder back, pour the oil on them and shit.
Yes.
Do that.
All of that. We will take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. That would be awesome, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Give us different ways, but don't let people jump over the walls. That's crazy.
Yeah. No, I want them to just, if that's the system, that's how it should work. We don't need players coming in and breaking the wards without breaking the walls. If they can do that, then why the fuck would anybody build walls?
Correct.
Derp.
I mean,
That's just common sense. Players don't need to be creative. They need to just, if it's a system in the game, if it's a race, there's a beginning and an end. If it's a hurdle race, you have to jump the hurdles. You don't get to go around the hurdles because I'm being creative, right?
If there's an exploit,
They'll use it, but that doesn't mean I gotta like it, and I don't like it when they do that.
No, I
I
don't.
get very mad.
I personally don't much care for that tactic either. I think it's a bullshit tactic, but at the same time, it's a smart tactic. If they're able to legitimately get in without having to break down the wall, I mean, good on them.
But they still shouldn't be able to take down the wards. I don't care if they can get in. I just don't like that they can take down the wards.
Why not?
Because the wards shouldn't be triggered till the wall comes down.
But the whole point of getting in is just so you can take down the wards and take the keep. If you can do that by bypassing the walls, why not? Again, I don't like it. I don't like it.
I think it's a stupid rule.
Yeah,
or
it's a bullshit tactic.
Yeah, it's a bullshit tactic.
Tunnel underneath the walls
they were. I don't know if they still can.
No,
yeah,
I didn't like it.
They have a major and a minor that allows them to sit there and tunnel. Yeah. So I mean, again, it's bullshit.
I mean, there's got to be some sort of line on that. Yeah.
It's not like they got centaurs jumping the wall. You got your stealthers sneaking in, which is what stealthers are meant to do. So I'd say they're playing the character the way they're supposed to be playing. Now, if you got
something else, guineas, don't get me started on.
Yeah, no, I hate guineas. You all know how I feel like guineas. But I mean, if you got something like a centaur jumping the wall or Vindy just phasing through it or something,
even guineas can do it.
Okay, guineas is a type of stealther.
Well, let's just legalize cheat engines too, so we can just walk through the walls. That'd be cool.
They might as well make the game modded. Let's just make it modded. Let's have mods for the game.
Yeah, why don't we have any mods for Crowfall? Yeah, I'm shocked by this.
Get mods. Hell,
anyway,
build all kinds of shit.
Well, what I was saying was, if you got centaurs jumping the wall and Vindies and whatnot, other stuff, phasing through the wall or whatnot, who are able to do that and they're not supposed to, that I have an absolute issue with. They should not be able to do that. But stealth or sneaking in, that makes sense. I hate it, but it makes sense.
I don't understand why that makes sense to you. How are they sneaking in?
I don't know how they're sneaking in, but apparently
we don't even know how they're doing it. So I don't agree with you on that.
The jumping over the wall problem can be fixed by not putting forts next to high cliffs or keeps. That stops all the jumping over the wall. That would eliminate the issue completely.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think that it should be just a 3-step thing. It should be a 3-step thing. Get down the walls, get down the wards, get down the tree. That's it.
Yeah. Why druids? Why should druids be able to get in, Tyrion?
I don't understand.
Tyrion said.
Now, is this just what the players think, or did the devs say that this was okay? Because I don't believe that's how they designed it. But
yeah,
I heard that it was not.
It was an actionable offense.
Yeah, actionable. That's what we heard originally.
That was for the leaping, the centaurs leaping up on the wall. That was actionable.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing now.
But you have to have a video in 4K from multiple angles.
Not a 3-second clip from a 2-hour show?
No. That's not good enough. You have to have more. You have to have when it's a bug. You have to have context. When you just want to falsely report somebody, no context needed. Just so you guys know, okay?
Yeah. Tyrion, my response to that would be they're not portaling through solid objects, though. They're going a short distance in an open space to get out of danger.
That's what I thought he was referring to. They can portal.
Yeah, I'm not going to say I don't understand the whole thing because I don't do it. But as far as just from a technical aspect, it's a 3-step process. You get down the wall, you get down the ward, you get down the tree. Then you plant a tree if you want to keep it.
Yeah, I'd say majority of your classes, but like your stealthers and whatnot.
Which is the reason why we have ballistas.
Yeah, if they want to put something in, if they want to put systems in that people can sneak through the walls, fine. But I don't believe they've done that.
Okay, no. So I was under the impression that they gave this. From what I was gathering, from what chat said, stealthers had that ability and it was part of the
people
game.
Are glitching their way through the walls somehow.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, if it's glitching and exploiting, then yes, I have an absolute problem with that, and they should not be able to. I thought it was stealthers had the ability to.
No, as far as I know, there is no ability outside of taking down the wall.
Okay. If it's not meant to be part of the game, then yeah, it's exploiting, cheating, whatever, and you should.
And for those of you in Sun in the shadows, if you come knocking on our door and you break down a wall, you better be planning on coming in because we don't have to go outside.
That's right. We're not going to meet you at the
they,
front door. And
they
say,
get offended if we don't go
out.
outside to meet them. And it's like, well, you came to our fucking door. You come in here.
Chipmunk says a common exploit is to sneak a guinea knight in and pull people up, but you can't chain pull your own allies. I don't think.
No, they do it. They do it with another faction.
Yes.
Okay, so that's Dregs then.
But that's a different. I mean, to me, that's cheeseball, but it's not again. You know what I mean? It's not an exploit per se. But yeah, I would. That's cheesy. Now I don't know that they could even fix that.
Yeah, but that still goes back to the original thing of stealthers sneaking in through means that I guess aren't supposed to be in the game.
Yeah.
So I mean, is that a game mechanic that they're supposed to have or not? So I'm getting two different impressions here.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know that they are or not. One of them.
I don't think it's intended or they wouldn't have trebuchets.
Okay, so you're referring to okay, at the beginning they're referring to the whole tunnel thing. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about the tunnel thing. I'm not sure that. I mean, a guinea though typically is not going to be able to take down a ward anytime soon.
Yeah.
No.
A guinea knight maybe, but
Darth Stabby.
no, Darth Stabby would take a month of Sundays to get a ward down, and if there's 4 wards, forget it. But I'm not. I mean, I don't. Like I said, it's just the fact of the matter is the way the system is set up. You take the walls, you take the wards, you take the tree, you plant the tree. It's a 4-step process. Okay, that's it. So that's where I'm coming from. You may agree, you may disagree. I don't care about creative mechanics. It's not supposed to be that way, as far as I know. If it is, then I apologize. Wretched, where is old Wretched? Wretched told me, you know what he told me? I'll tell you something Wretched said to me. He told me that this shadow, that Moon was going to lose from the very beginning. Did anybody look at the scoreboard today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was wrong. Okay, so next.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was way wrong on that one. Moon reigns, baby. All right, so yeah, and I guess, I don't know if any of you other guys wanted to chime in, but, Mr. Most Mad said that the new Dregs has been accepted fairly well by the current player base. I don't see a rush of new people coming in to get smashed, but, I was just wondering, so is nobody bothered by the fact that they upturned your whole way of life and just made it into something different? Is that okay with the Dregs player base? I'm personally, I'm just trying to figure out, were they punishing you guys? Did you guys want this? Did you just say, is this
here's my question.
As it should be? I don't know.
Is it the current form of Dregs crafting that makes it bearable?
Yeah.
I would say so.
Sorry, Dory made a
If it
funny.
wasn't for that crafting ability that they boosted it, would they still like the current setup in the Dregs? That's my question to Mr. Moosmad.
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt weird. It felt weird to me that they completely, there's this segment of the game that plays that Dregs every single time, and they just like totally ripped it away out of their hands and put in this other version. Well, I don't understand why they didn't put in a separate little version.
Tyrant, would you like to see that in a regular game? I'm sorry, Extreme didn't mean to cut.
I was like, everyone starts on the same footing. Crafting, harvesting, streamlined, and winners are the ones who play the hardest. And I agree with that. That's why I wanted to give this Dregs a go. You start on the same footing as everyone else. You're not competing against people who are coming in with Lego gear right out the gate.
So can we change your name to Mr. Mostly Mad because it's mostly good? So for new players, shit. You think new players are going to go in there?
No.
Hell no, they're not going to go in there.
Players are going to go in there at all.
They're not going to come in. I don't even want to go in there.
The only way new players come into the shadow a lot is if they know somebody that's
What?
been there and shows them the ropes.
What new players are you talking about, man? Most of the new players that come into the shadow get killed and never return. I mean, come on, man. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it.
And why don't
Hey,
we have a player counter in the game? Why can't we have a player counter to see how many people are logged
because
into the
people were
damn
using it
game?
as a cudgel on the internet.
I don't care. I want a player counter. I want to see how many people are playing the game.
I want to know how many hours I've played the game. Most games, especially if they have slash commands, I should be able to slash time played and see how many. Yeah, Black Desert even has it.
And
Ultima Online had that shit. Come on.
you could actually look and see how much money you spent too. I think, if I'm not mistaken, in Black
But you can do
Desert.
that in this game as well.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I don't think that new players you have to learn even what you're doing before you can even think about going to the dregs. I mean, I go in there, it is a hot mess of flags and things I don't even understand because I play the faction way, right? It's either moon, sun, or earth. That is more of a new player thing, and even that, I didn't do that all in one go. It took me several campaigns before I really started to wrap my head in all this import and export crap, which I don't like, and a bunch of this going in naked, out naked. I don't. Then on top of all that, they're gonna go play this dregs. They're gonna be in 80th place, and they're not gonna get shit.
Nothing.
Back.
Garbage.
And then so they wasted 2 weeks of their life and got nothing. They can't bring nothing home. They don't get anything. What are the rewards? Does anybody even know?
Whatever it is, it ain't enough.
Yeah.
And for the small guy that doesn't have a big group, he's not going to get anything. So they're never going to go back if that's the way it's going to be. That's my opinion.
It's a waste of time. Even the shadows we feel is a complete waste of time. We don't want to sit there. Nobody wants to even challenge us, and we're not even good. We suck. And
even if we get challenged, the payoff is not worth.
It's just terrible. Like we can't even compete with each other for most kills or anything because we don't get any special candy. They don't even give us a pat on the back or a pat on the butt.
It's not worth the squeeze.
Correct.
It's not worth the squeeze, baby. It's not worth it.
What the hell's going on? All right. Anyway, we love this game, by the way, Space Case. We're just in the midst of bitching about it. Okay?
We love it, though, because we played as a group. Every day we played this game.
It's fine that it's hardcore seasonal, but 2 minutes ago you just said it's the best thing for new players. What lens do they look through? They look through the what the fuck is going on lens is what I think they look through.
Yes.
That's the lens I look at it, and I've been here a while. The game has a lot of traditional MMO stuff in it. You don't have elaborate EK systems in a PvP game. You don't have elaborate crafting systems in a PvP game. You don't have a lot of these things. You don't have worlds, explorable places, things to do like you do here in a PvP-centric game. You just don't have them. Fortnite, for example. Where's the crafting? There is none, right? Street Fighter, where's the crafting? None. So they need to figure out what they're doing and take a direction, go that way. If it's going to be an MMO with optional events you can do, that's great. But then they need to finish the world. They need to make a world. They need to quit screwing around and quit just half making things and putting them in the game, because that's basically what it feels like. It feels like they made half a thing and then, okay, that's good enough, let's put it in and see what happens. Okay, well, we're tired of seeing what happens all the time. We want to actually, play now. Can we play now? I mean,
simulator with PvP enabled.
Can we start playing the game soon? That's what I want to know. Can we do that? Because right now it's like test, beta, alpha. Please report all bugs. Please report, but then we're just going to tell you they're not real bugs. I mean, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. I say. What is the game? That is the question, Space Case.
I answered the question.
That's right.
But they won't teach you how to craft with a tutorial. You better find somebody who knows how to craft in order to learn how to craft in this game.
Exactly.
You'll drive yourself insane, I'm telling you right now.
I don't know what you're talking about, but it sounds funny.
You'll still drive yourself insane, even if you know how to do it.
It's a game that doesn't teach you how to play the game.
We don't know. Nobody knows what this game is.
Nobody knows.
because they won't just take a poop and say, this is what it is. This is what we're doing, guys. We don't know. Yeah, we want to know too, Dory. I mean, that Space Case asks the most important question of all, and nobody knows the answer. And I bet you if I write support and ask them, they'll tell me they can't answer that question because that's what they do when I ask them a question. All right, so yeah, it's a genre. Well, it needs a name. It's called What the Fuck? We don't know what it is. That's what it should be called. All right.
Combat crafting. There you go. That's
combat crafting, yeah.
The genre is combat
crafters. That would be fine, if they did that. I would still leave the game, but at least I'd have an idea what we were playing this whole time because I don't craft, so I don't give a shit.
Absolutely don't. I'm lucky to make a bandage or a basic axe.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but All Beyond Online is still more MMO like than whatever else it does. You still know it's an MMO. And I don't know if this sandbox is messed up. It needs a better sand. It needs to be fixed.
The cat's been visiting this.
Yeah, the cat. Too many cats have pooped in the sandbox. Okay, we need cleaning. All right, so yeah, so I already said all that. So let's go ahead and move on. I don't think that, like I said, I don't think any of this stuff we're talking about here is going to sway the old people to come back. A lot of people only play for a short time anyway, and they move on. So, touting that there's 110 with access, that's great, but you're going to have to put some content in the game or they're never going to look at it ever. If they just think, if all they hear is it's the same as it ever was, the same people are still winning, the same thing is still going on, bleh. Okay? That's my opinion. Don't at support, bros.
I personally think the ones that win it all the time are getting bored with winning all the time.
You would think. Conan did. Remember Conan? He won everything, and then he was bored as shit. All right. This is what being at the top looks like, fellas. All right, so let's move on to our main topic of the night. Tyrant stepping down as executive producer. Let me pull up my notes. I don't think I'm gonna. I don't know if I didn't prepare to put it on the screen. Let me put it on the screen for you guys so you guys can read along with me. Boop. Yep, there we go. Now I can Alt Tab and get my browser.
Always worse games. You're right, Dory.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why we're still here, because there are no real good options for us right now. Let me find my little thingy here. Okay, need this. All right, I'm going to put this up on the screen for you guys so you guys can read along with me what was said. And then we're going to tear it apart. We're going to rip it into pieces. And again, you guys can say whatever you want. I don't care. This is a lovely place here. We talk about things and we're not scared. All right.
Space.
So I'm going to go ahead. I'm even going to turn the cam off. There we go.
I know.
All right. So the executive producer update for April 2022, Gordon Walton. So winter has come for me, he says. Just as our campaigns in Crowfall have a definite beginning and an end, my time on Crowfall team is coming to an end on May 6th, which is a few weeks away. So make sure you get all your zone resets in, because everybody else's support will just say, wait till tomorrow when we do the rolling restart. I'm sad to be going, as I really wanted to stay and see Crowfall, the game, the community, and the team achieve the success it deserves. What can I say about what comes next for me? Is that there's some dear friends of mine that have some challenges that I may be able to help them overcome. You got my interest. I want to know what those are. The obligations I have to these folks, along with the issues they face, were enough to cause me to choose to leave Crowfall before we reached the promised land. Yes, we need to reach the promised land.
Do we know where the promised land is?
No, we don't even know what the promised land is. Yes.
Okay, so since we're going that route, so we're like the Jews wandering the desert for hundreds of years because we pissed off some higher being.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not sacrilege. It actually happened.
So he says, Monty asked me when I told him the news if there was any way for me to stay, and I told him leaving now was all about heartstrings and not purse strings, and he completely understood, as he is well aware of specific folks involved, my relationship to them and their situation. Now, I mean, all smoke and mirrors aside, I wasn't going to be surprised if the other team eventually kind of stepped to the side anyway. I just didn't expect it was going to be like right now, but this is not shocking to me at all. Although I will miss Gordon. I do love him dearly. In a bro love kind of way. No homo. The better news for Crowfall is we've added some new blood to the team and have even more coming. Kay Gilmore, who I don't know, is taking over as executive producer. She's a new face to our community, but I first met Kay in 1999 when we were both working at Origin on Ultima Online. Now that's promising. I do like, they said the magic word, and they said the other magic word. Origin was the company making Ultima Online back in the day, and that was my favorite. She was last on Fallout 76, which had a rough start, but managed to turn that around. She scared me then and still does, but don't tell her. Seriously, she's an incredibly experienced game professional, and I have full confidence in her to lead the Crowfall team to great things. Okay, first order of business, Kay. What the hell are we playing? Thank you. We will be introducing a new engineering director, which maybe will be the persistent bug fixing guy, I hope. And then a creative director soon too. Now, creative director trumps the current position of that Blixtex has, which is like basically they'll decide which direction the game's going in. So technically this is the guy, the creative director is the guy that we would have to find out what this game actually is from. So whoever that creative director is, that's what we're going to attack him like a piranha. Okay? Yeah. We're coming for that guy.
Coming for your head.
That's right. We need a creative director skull in our skull chest.
That's right.
We want a head from you.
Yeah. Oh my God. Extreme.
We want your head.
Do you learn nothing?
Absolutely nothing. You started the statement. I finished it. We are coming for your head because we want your head.
Okay.
In a good way.
Mm-hmm. All right, and we're adding even more developers so we can increase the pace of changes to Crowfall. All right. Well, that's good. They've already increased it, but they need to slow it down a little bit because they're actually making other things really bad. So they got to slow down and maybe do a pass on the game. What do they call that kind of pass?
Performance pass?
Performance? I would say performance would be amazing. I'll miss the Crowfall community team a lot, but I hope not to be a stranger. I just won't be in game every single day to be a target for you all, as I'll have to limit my Crowfall playtime to the weekends on live. Yeah, well, I haven't been able to catch up with him yet. The last time I seen that he had a bunch of deaths, I told him that when he comes on, he needs to do a server-wide message so we know, so we can go get him, so we can go kill him. I didn't hear any response to that. But in any event, he says, thanks for supporting and playing Crowfall. It was my honor to be able to be a part of the creation and journey to this point. Gordon Walton, executive producer emeritus. And then he welcomes Kay to the fold. So as far as Gordon leaving, I get it. I don't know that anything bad happened. Maybe he does. I don't know who he's going to go help. Maybe it's, who knows? I don't know who he's close to. I don't know him that well. It's certainly that when he invited me to this game, he was very, very gung-ho, like this was going to be the thing, and he was going to make up for all the wrongs that were done to the UO people back in the 1990s and early 2000s, and the PKs were going to reign supreme. Well, I think they found out, just as every other game in the world has, the PKs are pretty hard. They're pretty hard to control. Yeah. And you have to have a lot more rules in place for them because they will exploit every single thing all the time, and they will try to justify it, and there's nothing you can do or say that will convince them that they're wrong. So forget it. I am a former Dreadlord, just so you guys know. I was a PK hated by the community for a long time, so this is not my first rodeo. I'm a little too old now, so I leave the extra hard-ass killing to you youngsters, okay? I'm just like the old general that sits up there and goes, kill that guy over there, and then they go, poof, and they just destroy him.
Sitting back in a tree line where nobody can see you.
Yeah. I just hide behind a rock and go, dumbass. Shouldn't have messed with me. We have a great team. Okay, okay. Thank you, Gordon, for the introduction. Hello, Crowfall community. As Gordon mentioned, I have the pleasure, you can tell she's a noob, of working with him and other many great game professionals over the course of my career. I'm very excited about this new chapter. Well, that part is where she's a noob. She's not going to be excited for long. While our game has had a rocky start, I'm ready to help turn this around.
Statement.
Yeah, rocky start. It basically imploded and
like
died.
Large boulders running down a hill.
Yeah, we had to have a resurrection. I mean, this was more than a rocky start. This was death and resurrection.
Rock picks up speed.
We have a great team and community that all wants us to succeed. Now that's true. They do have a community that wants them to succeed to the point to where we're like very upset. We want it to succeed faster. Okay.
To the point where there's been 19 of these shows.
Yeah. I understand the challenges before me and the team, but I am committed to changing the horizon for Crowfall, the game, the community, and the team. Changing the horizon. That's the key words there, guys. Don't forget. Now, not even 2 weeks ago, Gordon mentioned, welcome to the Crowfall evolution. So this is twice now I've heard evolution and changing the horizon. Those are similar terms. That means they're up to something. Okay? That's my speculation on that. Take it or leave it. All right. It's an honor to be part of the Crowfall community. Again, noob. I will be in touch soon. As Gordon mentioned, we have some key hires coming on. Can't wait for you all to meet them. This is a very exciting time for us. We are refueled. You see that? Refueled? I believe that part is not done yet. And ready to take on challenges before us. The refueling part is doing away with the old and coming in with the new. Now what that means, they need to do a lot of things. They need if they're not gonna give us the promises that they gave us in the beginning, they need to just say so. So our investments and all that were with Ace, not with Monumental. They just need to say so. If they're not going to give us what we were originally promised and paid for, they need to just say so and let those people do whatever they're going to do. Step aside, whatever. That part I don't care about. They can do whatever they got to do. I mean, I invested as well, so I get it. It's a disappointing thing. And ready to take on the challenges before us. So we're going to find out if they're truly ready to take on the challenges before them. Anybody buy this story so far? It's still too early to tell.
It's too early to tell.
But I'm going to give them the benefit, being as though they're new.
All right.
With new people come new ideas. So.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Dory said he got a payout from the buyout. I agreed to the golden handcuffs to hire my replacement, but Mike drop. Okay. That's what he's saying. That's what Gordon said. That's what he's thinking.
I think he's poking fun at that.
Yeah, he's poking fun. That's funny. That is hilarious, Driz. Or Dory, sorry. I keep wanting to call you Drizzt because that's kind of how it reads, but I know it's not that. So Dory, that's why everybody calls him Dory. Ooh, that was a mouthful, what I just said there. So let's minimize that and go back to the game where I'm showing content. You see this content, you guys? You can't even get this. You can't even buy this kind of content. This is beautiful stuff.
No, but you can get it for free. Just come here and watch the show.
This looks like Kiri Mara. This character.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah. Now, Kiri Mara is actually the one that's winning the shadow. We're just kind of there standing around looking at her while she kills everybody.
And saying, yes, ma'am, I'll go there and burn this. Yes, ma'am, I'll go there and burn that.
Yeah, we'll go burn it all down. Yes, ma'am. That's basically what's happening in the shadow right now. That's my next topic anyways. War stories. Moons in the Hawk. Shadow campaign. So it's funny.
Yeah. A picture of Gordon weeks from now. Hawaii
Yeah.
shirt in Vegas.
Yeah, I'm sure that Gordon got a nice payout. They still had a significant amount of money when when they sold. Now I don't know how that worked out. Like how if Monumental got to have the money, or they did whatever, or they used that money to buy the game from J Todd, whatever his name is. But they definitely still had money, and that's how the game is still being funded. I don't know the numbers. Like nobody knows the numbers, so it's hard to say if the numbers have increased, decreased. It feels like they're decreasing because like just if you go to Arinth Traders, like every week it seems like there's less and less vendors. Like because we go there a lot to buy stuff because we don't have any super crafters, right? So we go to the Arinths a lot and Fiends and some of these other guys to buy stuff, and I just noticed that the numbers are dwindling. So if that's any indication of the entire population,
That's what I use.
it's not looking good. But if
Those are the numbers I use when I go shopping.
yeah, because they had at their strong point, they had over 80 vendors, right? So now they only seem to have less. They have like
The
maybe
stalls are
50.
there, but the vendors are
Yeah, or the vendor says closed or whatever. Like
yes.
the players aren't even logging in to pay the fee, So
And me not being a crafter, I depend on other crafters to buy my
well,
equipment.
no, actually they do have a need. We need a need. So if any of even one of those crafters just wants to come over and put a vendor on our EK, I would give them a spot because we need stuff all the time. So
all the time.
yeah, because we don't craft our own stuff typically.
Me and Fear craft nothing.
Yeah, we craft nothing. See all this fine gear I'm wearing on this character right here? That is not crafted. Okay,
100% vendor.
that is 100%. Look it is a hot. I bought that off a vendor. Yes, I did, and I'm a proud owner of this lovely wear. So yeah, there is a reason. It's just not in mass because they've got so many They've got. The thing is that they made crafters. They gave them the ability to kill instead of run away, which is what they should be doing. They're not. They're killers now. So they're just all the people in the game just want to be a crafter now because they can kill too. Now if they
farm like crazy.
In the olden days, the crafters would stay hidden. That's where they should be. And there are still a lot of crafters that still do stay hidden, and you just don't ever see them. Sometimes you'll see on the scoreboard, you'll see certain people that have scores, especially in the crafting area, that you've never seen. They still stay hidden. They only play during off hours. They don't fart around. They go right to where they need to go. They get what they need and they get out. That's a crafter. They made him into like Genghis Dino. Remember, he used to be just a crafter, and he was so mad that he could be killed while he was harvesting. And he wrote this like 3-page letter to the dev team and told them, "You don't put in where non-PvP areas where we could craft in peace." And now he just kills everybody, and he crafts. So it's kind of funny.
He does more crafting than he does anything, and he spends most of his time in game getting materials.
So,
which is what it takes to craft in this game. Large amounts of seat time to get what you need.
Oh yeah, huge amounts of seat time. And I don't have a problem with rewarding people that play more, but
absolutely.
It's not doable for the majority of the player base, okay? Because
no, it's not.
We have jobs and shit, so we got to go to work, okay? There's going to be times we just can't play. I mean, without quitting our jobs, and we're probably not going to do that anytime soon. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of people out there. There are people out there that can just do the seat time for 24 hours a day, and yeah, they get rewarded for it. But the minute they get tired and they go to sleep, that's when all of us come out of the woodwork and we go undo everything they did. So that's the upside, right? But I just think that if you're going to have a game, first of all, let's figure out, is this an esport or an MMO, or if it's a hybrid, let's work on that, because that's a new category, right? And then let's go in a direction. I want to go in a direction. I don't know about you guys, but I want to go in a direction. Now with the Shadow, this time, Wretched came to me and out of the dregs, he came in and told me how we were going to get our asses smashed in the shadow right out of the gate. It didn't happen. So I've been wanting to tease him about that for like about a week now.
Him.
I haven't seen him either. He just like vanished. But yeah, he was in there. He's a drama queen, big time. He starts all kinds of drama. Like he gets in there. He was telling me. So there was this deal last campaign, right? Richard is a Moon fanboy. Yeah. So yeah, he told me that we were going to get smashed, and then he told me that. So there was this deal, right? Like so when we started. Let's go 2 campaigns ago. 2 campaigns ago.
That. Wretched got banned, supposedly.
He what?
He said in chat.
Oh
That's
my
what
God.
Dory says.
He said he just told me he didn't go in there anymore. He didn't tell me he got banned. But anyway, so 2 campaigns ago, we got into it. The Australians showed up. Okay. Now, of course, they made all their keeps in Australia, which is very difficult for me to get somebody to assault. And there was really no other Dregs people except for us and the Australians. And we were winning, and we never got behind, but they got really close. So what they were doing to us was we were building keeps because that's the way you're supposed to. That somebody has it in their mind that you have to own everything on the map, which I disagree with. We were getting all these keeps and putting all these seeds in and building all these bell towers and defenses and stuff. And the Australian guys are just wrecking balls, right? They just came in, ripped through our walls, with their bare hands, I think. And then they just took all our keeps with all our bell towers, and they started gaining a lot of points. And so everybody was nervous, and I was like, no, that's fine. We're just gonna change our tactics. So what we did is we just started destroying all the keeps and all the bell towers and all the banks, mostly the bell towers. And then once we did that, our points shot up again because now they weren't using our own bell towers against us. So by the end of the game, I think we had 1 keep left. Or no, we didn't have any, did we? Did we get them all, rid of them all?
No, we had a keep. We had
1.
One, okay.
We decided 1 and we kept it.
Yeah, we just decided we can only afford to defend 1 keep. So
we're a small group.
We're a very small group, and we don't all play every day. So
that's right.
So we're like, okay, we could do 1 keep. So and it was in our time zone. Like we have a certain number of hours we can play a day, and mostly we play on the weekends. So we had 1 little window. We had to make sure our keep was in that 1 little window, and then we defended it. And really, nobody even ever attacked it. The Australians got bored because mostly they were looking for the PvP, and in the shadows, the PvP we don't look for that. Like we play off of the scoreboard, not off of the how many people we fought today. We don't. I mean, I think that's like an older school mentality or something because we play off of the scoreboard. So whatever the scoreboard says, if we're winning, if we got the most plus, then we're winning. That's how we gauge our wins. The only sad part is we can't play against each other, like who's got the most outposts captured and stuff like that. We want to get rewarded for that kind of stuff. We'd love to get,
but there's no reward for it.
Right? Yeah, we can still play the game, but we can't get rewarded. And the smelly Australians. That's right, you smelly Australians.
There's a couple of them.
Yeah, there's a couple that if we could kill them, we would have. There are just some of them are basically we would hit them and nothing would they just were like, and then they would smash us into smithereens. Even like if there was 2 of them and 5 of us, we were still getting our asses whipped into oblivion. I mean, it was bad. And then they got bored because the PvP's not there, right? So that's because we don't play that way. We're over 40, most of us. Sorry, Extreme. No offense. But we just don't care about that shit the same way, right? We don't care about that stuff. We just want to win this points, right? So that's where we play. And if you want to play the points game with us, we'll play that game. But if you're just going to go stand out there and do the bait, do the bait outpost where you bait us, that worked a couple times, but it really doesn't work anymore. If you come in and say, oh, we're going to do this. Oops, wrong chat. We're not going to fall for that. There's a lot of tricks they try to do to get us to come PvP them. But basically we just starve them of their fun, and then they go away. And that works every single time. I'm just saying. Except for one time. So the Australians beat the holy piss out of us. So the next campaign, the Earthers and Azerlin's guild, I can't remember the name, something Dragon's Claw or something. They had gone to the Dregs stupidly, as I told them, because the Dregs guys think everybody should play there because there's more opportunity. I'm like, no, there's not. Not really. There's more opportunities for you to get your ass kicked, but they talked his guild into going over there. They basically folded like a deck of cards or a house of cards in 2 seconds. I even talked to Azrael and he said, yeah, we weren't quite ready for that. I said, no, you're not, and you're not going to be. And then when they came back, we had just come off of the beatdown from the Australians. So we're like pumped now, right? We're like, and we go in there and we just start just beating the shit out of everybody. Now, and the Earth runs around, gets a bunch of keeps. Well, what we thought was, which was, oopsie on my part, what they did is they took a bit large keep next to our zone, and then somebody, maybe not Azralin's group, but some Earth group took a keep in the zone below us. So I thought they were trying to box us in. So then I said, burn it all down. We're taking everything. So right after we took everything, they pretty much, their whole thing, most of them just quit. Like there was literally nothing else to do. We were done. So one of our guys, who was it? I think it was Dino the Hun, or is it? No. Yeah. He went over there and he talked to Azerlin and he said, well, we want you guys to come back, and so we'll leave your keep alone. They made a new keep somewhere else. And all that was in their keep was all crafting stuff. There was literally no war stuff in it. So, and then in the other keep that they took, there was literally nothing in it. There was nothing. It was a bank. They were using it for a bank because they didn't want to take the respawn, because we would go take the respawn back. So this is where their mind is, and I did not know this. I did not even conceive this. This is inconceivable, I thought. I thought they were trying to box us in, which would have been a great tactic, except that, we had level 4 trebuchets, and they did not. So,
25K.
Yeah, and then when we would take, the big keep, we took it, because Dino saw all the crafting stuff in there, and I've never heard a guy coo like that in my life.
He had a craftgasm. Yes,
he did. He had a complete craft. There was weird liquids all over everything. We don't even know.
It was splooge everywhere.
Oh man, it was horrible. So he wanted that keep. He had to have that keep. So we were like, okay, fine, go get a seed then. If you want to spend the 25K, go spend the 20. I'm not spending the 20. I don't care about this keep. I just want them to spend the money to rebuild it. Because that's the thing is with shadow people, they're not like ridiculously rich like Dregs people, or don't know how to be ridiculously rich like Dregs people. So money to us is more important. It's getting less and less important over time for us. But at the time we were doing this, money was very important. So 25 G's was not something we just had available all the time. And we don't. Not only do we not like crafting, we don't like grinding in particular either.
Not when it's the same shit.
Yeah. We just don't. We need new stuff. Yeah, we want new places to go. And so Dino went over and he said we'd leave their keep alone. Now, so me being the guild leader, Azerlin spoke with me about this deal, right? Which was not an NAP exactly, but what it was is I told him, look, if you don't build weapons of mass destruction and help Mr. Most Mad, which was my threat, actually. I didn't mean it to be a threat, but I was like, Mr. Most Mad has been up our ass to do a siege against us for a while. So if you build anything for him and we find out about it, we're going to come take this keep. That was the deal. It's only that keep. I said, and that's only in my guild for the ones that'll listen. I said, I don't make my guild log things. I don't make my guild tell me shit. They do whatever they want. If they decide they want to come over here and destroy your keep, fine. But I'm usually the treb driver, so I will tell you that I'm not actively interested in your keep at the time. And they didn't build a bell tower in it. To me, if they don't build a bell tower in it, they're no threat because, as I said before, we play off the scoreboard. So if you're not threatening us on the scoreboard, we don't care about you. right? So if you want to own a keep, you can own a keep. Well, not right now, but back then, you can own a keep as long as you don't put a bell tower in it and start encroaching on our points. Then we will go destroy it. And we're very proficient at that now. Now, if there was a huge resistance to it, we would probably lose, but we haven't encountered that yet. So that was kind of the deal. Okay, it was just that one keep, and that's because he said he only wanted to do crafting. He didn't want to have war with anybody, yada yada. I actually had to beg them to start flipping flags, just so we could keep doing the points thing, because we like to do that. And yeah, they wouldn't even touch them. So Sun sometimes would come over and flip the flags for us, which was nice. Plus, some of us have alt accounts, so we'd flip our own flags because we're just like, man, we're bored. Let's flip some flags, But, so we can, and that's all legal as long as you're paid accounts, whatever. But, so it just got to the thing. So then there was this story that came up that we had this NAP, blah, blah, blah. We made a deal. And this was one of the things Wretched came over and was asking me about. I said, there's no deal. I just told him we're not going to actively seek that keep unless he helps Mr. Most Mad or any other Earthers to siege our large keep. And he was like, but he's a spy. I said, okay, that's good. I hope he betrays me because then he'll give us a reason to go smash his keep.
Be back in a minute, guys.
So anyway, at the end of the campaign, we decided we're going to take it anyway. So we took it like 2 days before the end of the campaign. And then the next campaign, this one, I think, is the next one. Oh, we also had, I don't know how many of you know Kirimara, but I'm assuming you do because she's a pretty predominant player in the game. She at the time, last time, was in Sun. So sometimes she would come around and help us, just like shooting guards or whatever. So she's the only one, but she was in Sun. So the story was that we were nut cupping Sun. I said, no, we're just nut cupping Kirimara because she's the only one. But it's funny how the stories get bigger and bigger and bigger. And pretty soon it's like, Moon is aligned with Sun, and they hate Earth. Now, she hates Earth. I'm just going to tell you guys, okay? She does not like Earth, even a little bit. And it's mostly because of this one player that's not even on in the game anymore. But nevertheless, I don't suggest Earth try to take a keep this time because she's playing pretty heavy. So, just so you know. Yeah, I might. I'm not going to flip any flags because we're probably going to play in the dregs for a little bit. At least get our feet wet and get our asses kicked a couple times. Then we'll come back home. I'm in the dregs now. That's where I'm at. I'm in the dregs. I'm just watching I love how many people are coming in and out of the bank doors. So, in any event, did you have any topics you wanted to talk about, Extreme? I'm sorry, I probably skipped you.
No, I was just honestly, I don't want to sound. What was the whole point of that story again? I missed that.
Oh, it was just war stories. We're telling war stories.
Okay.
This time we're winning again, but that's mostly, like I said, it's mostly Kirimar.
Okay, so I didn't know if there was like something that had that we're getting.
No,
at,
it's
or
war. Do you ever sit around a campfire? Look, if I get closer to this fire over here, will it help?
Yes.
Okay, we're sitting around the campfire now, telling stories.
Okay.
Telling stories. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now she's in front of the campfire.
Okay.
So that was my war story. I don't know if you have any war stories. I'm just telling you the 30,000 foot view of what happened from the guild leader's perspective. You may have a completely different vision of what it is.
No, I got nothing on that one. Let's see.
Oh, there's going to be a break between the short campaigns. That's kind of neat. That'll give them time to come back to the dregs.
What's
or the shadow
chat?
Do what?
Appearance said on leaders chat. I'm wondering what is leaders chat.
Leaders chat. That must be guild leaders chat. I'm in that.
Okay.
You don't get to see that. No. And that's not because you said anything nasty. It's just because you're not the guild leader. You could start your own guild and do that. Then you could be in there.
I'm going to check something real quick.
So, Yeah, so that's cool. Yeah, that's cool that they're going to give a break, I guess. I mean, I was more concerned that they don't have. I was complaining about that for Shadows too. I think this back to back to back Shadows is terrible too. I usually just take like the first week to week and a half and just work on my characters and stuff, and not even bother with the leaderboards because, like I said, there's no reward for it anyway. So it's almost pointless to even play the actual Shadows to me. They don't even give you enough coins to get one legendary item out of the damn vendors. A random legendary item out of the vendors, which I hate that you can't just pick something you want. Why can't I just pick what I want? I don't get it. It doesn't have to be every single thing in there. Just give me damn thing. Give me one thing. I want a legendary something. Let me have it. And then that's it. And then I would feel like I'm rewarded, but I don't even feel like that because I go and I do the random thing, and I've got 12 characters, and it doesn't fit any of them. That pisses me off. So, anyway, yeah, we thank God for Curie. If she ever switches factions, we're just going to quit. I'm just going to be honest, because we can't take that kind of lashing. But so we welcome all the Dregs people back in the Shadows afterwards. And the rewards are the same now. So pretty much. Okay, so as far as the Shadows goes, one other thing I would add to that. We need a low version and a high version of all the hot zones. So we need a... If you want to give the lower level players a chance to be able to do something, they need to be able to go to the lower level hot zones, and we need high level hot zones because I'll tell you right now, Webwood not being in a wildland is ridiculous. You get greens out of there. Nobody wants greens anymore. Not from our guild. We want purples. We want legendaries. We want all that. And now it's almost impossible to get. So basically, Webwood to us is dead, right?
Yeah.
There's no reason to go there. There's no reason to fight for it. There's no reason to do anything there.
I will say this: the spawn rate still needs to be increased.
And the spawn rate needs to be upped, especially when there's multiple people there. I don't know why that system never made it to fruition, but it was supposed to be a thing. Mm-hmm. Also, the leveling, the way they do the leveling in the Dregs is where if you hit a bigger mob, you get more EXP. That should be active in the Shadow. I do not believe it's active now. It needs to be active. Also, what else? Oh, the crafting in the Dregs, love it. I won't do it, but I think it's amazing. Should be in the Shadow.
Maybe not this exact version, but I do love. I do love the streamlined version. So keep the individual gathering and crafting discs and whatnot that you have in Shadows, but give us the streamlined version where you want to make a sword. Fine, go get your ethereal dust, get your ore, get the mold from the blacksmith and the hide to wrap the handle in. Boom, there's your sword.
It's not time yet. Kitty's meowing. Can you hear Kitty meowing at me?
Yeah, I heard Kitty meowing.
Yeah.
So I love the streamlined version of crafting and gathering and all that.
It sounds amazing. I'll take your word for it. But yes, I think that should be in the Shadow. And I think, like I said, I think there should be more hot zones and there should be more things to do. And we need new areas and we need new monsters. Thank you. And please make the rewards on the existing monsters worth it. And those damn raid bosses are too stupidly hard. They need to make them a little less.
Or if you're going to keep their difficulty, make the prizes worth it at least.
Yeah, because, if you need a full complement and 16 healers and all that shit, it better be worth it. I better get some conquest points or something out of that. Because we got our asses just shellacked by them guys a couple Shadows ago, and we're like, And then it's like, well, the rewards are only this and this, and we're like, we're glad we didn't get through that then, because if we would have saw those rewards, we would have been mad. So, in any event, that's all I've got. You can sue. Yes, I know, but that's using tricky game mechanics, Purian. We're trying to play the game as intended here. Okay? So, and you're also geared to the fucking hilt, so I don't want to hear it. We're not geared like that. Yes. Tricky game mechanics. We don't support those here, but I mean, obviously, if you know them, you know them. If you know, you know. If you don't, we're not going to tell you what they are. All right. So anyway, Extreme, you're good. Highlander must be good because he took a break.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's all I got for this lovely 19th episode of Crow Talk.
I mean, I do have some ideas, but I'm gonna flesh them out first, and I'll just stick them on the forums.
You just stick them. You can stick them on the forums and then tell us what you stuck on the forums.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because not everybody reads the forums.
All right, that'll be next week then.
All right. Let's do it. Everybody, thanks for coming out. Mr. Mosmad, Pierland. Who else was in there? Dory.
Yeah, I got Dory.
And then there were some new guys. Thanks, new guys.
Was it Space Case?
Space Case. He asked the best question of the day. He gets the award. You get the same reward we get from the Shadows, which is nothing. And then, yeah, we're good. So don't forget, we'll be here next Saturday. We don't have a specific time. We just kind of do it when we're ready. So just turn on your little follow button. If you're on the, if you wait till it comes out on the YouTube, which is like Tuesday or Wednesday, you can follow that channel as well. That's Battle Vortex Cast. As always, we appreciate you guys, and we will talk to you again real soon.